Hey, what's up?
Hey, bitch, welcome to brunch.
That's right. It's a Sunday afternoon matinee screening. We're trying something new for a round that was about trying again. The Snyder Cut Challenge.
hmm hmm You
I'm
love to
feeling it.
see it. I'm gonna love to see it. I actually have not seen these recuts yet, so we
Nor
will
have
be.
I.
Oh my goodness, I am so excited. But frankly, too excited. Let's back up a little bit. So obviously, we're enjoying this beautiful brunch with all of you, no matter what time of day you're watching it live or restream.
Mm-hmm.
And what are we talking about at brunch today? What's like the topic of discussion?
Oh, well, the topic of discussion, I suppose, is new looks on old stuff, making a thing and making it a new thing. For example, I got this classic Santa Rosa film sprint polo shirt on that my mom made me.
And I am wearing iconic brunch attire for white girls, an oversized thing that I don't have to wear a bra with.
Very
So
smart. Very Sunday
serving
me.
looks, serving looks.
Serving
But
looks.
yes, I this day is all about glowing the heck up and having the opportunity to do so. So what was the challenge and what are we screening?
Well, this was our first sort of slow cooker challenge. Rather than putting them in the pressure cooker, we let
Literally
those.
with my Instapot. Thank you.
Yeah, it got to cook in its own juice for a while. A month ago, we announced the start of this challenge, which Deming dubbed the Snyder Cut Challenge, a chance to provide a director's, editors, or whoever to F's cut of a previously submitted film sprint film. So that was the challenge. We allowed them to add up to 2 minutes of new footage and or to go ahead and use any footage they'd already shot in the process of making their film, take stuff back up off the cutting room floor, dust all those cutting room sweepings off of it, and jam it right back into their timeline.
I have a question. If I did a recut of one of our live streams, what do you think it would end up looking like?
Uh I think it would be a lot of footage of like your best and prettiest moments. Ideally where I'm like looking off camera or like doing that thing where I stop taking full agency of my body and I kind of just like drift off to the side. What up, Viral Media Network? Viral Media Network's in the house because they got a submission today.
I am so excited. I am so excited to watch this Viral Media Network submish.
I mean, it was one of my favorites the round that it came out, and it's a great one. But it's not our first of the evening, the afternoon. I'm just used to saying the evening because I'm in a dark room with lights on me. I don't even have sunlight on me right now. We may address that during the break, but let's talk about this first submish. This was the kind of beginning of what really set us apart from other short turnaround filmmaking competition. And that, I dare say, is patience, grace, a second chances. These are things that the film sprint is all about, baby. When this film was coming across the finish line in the 2019, excuse me, Santa Rosa film sprint, this team, Lemons for Friends, had pretty high confidence that it was not good. When they came in, they were not happy with their finished product. They had issues, I guess, not to throw anybody under the bus, but they had issues with their editor where they kind of turned it in with one of the 2 full days left, having shot everything, and the editor, when they came to pick it up, had completed about 1 minute of the film. So they brought it, they roughly assembled it as quickly as possible, and brought it in a little late on the finish line. We were going to let them compete with it anyway, but they asked to withdraw it. I said I still want the core of this to be shown in some way, so they took the time to finish it and edit it completely because they had everything they'd already needed. and that film was able to air as a special presentation as a part of the 2019 Santa Rosa. It was uneligible to win the awards, but it was an outstanding submission, as it still is to this very day.
And I haven't seen the original of this. As everybody knows, it's Film Sprint canon. Did not join until
Right, it's all
you
part
know,
of the
the mall gates of Earth got lowered, and everybody was locked down, and this whole thing turned remote. Because this was originally a live in-person local event in Northern California. I chose to insert myself once it opened up to the whole country. Because even though I'm from Northern California, I do live in the Georgia.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so this was before your time, when it was pretty much me and the family members I could kind of recruit into helping me run it. We were doing it in real theaters. Real theaters may be coming back pretty soon. It's such a key part of the Film Sprint experience to sit in the theater and see your submission and feel that, like, on an immediate reaction level, feel the response from the audience, feel like the impact of your work just days after having completed it. That's not something you get to do a lot in film, and it's so important, and it can be validating, and it can be informative. You can learn what things you were like sure were going to land that didn't, or what things you were unsure about that killed. You can find out so much just from that experience, and we're working on it. We're getting there. We'll have some more announcements on that in the days, weeks, months to come. But first things first, yes.
Oh, I do want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat, either live or after. I do think that, like, the community, as it were, that participates in the chat, like the really active, amazing, wonderful people, like, have helped, I think, to give filmmakers that live feedback. People reacting in time, like laughing and enjoying. I think similarly, whenever we have a filmmaker screening, like kind of the wrap party screenings at the end of a sprint, everybody is so engaged. And I just think everybody's wonderful and has done so much good stuff to kind of help replicate that experience. Although, as Christopher Nolan keeps flapping his gums about, theaters are better. So.
I mean, we've really done an amazing job in this sort of, in the chat and the broader Film Sprint community, to sound pretentious momentarily, of like supporting these artists. And so, yeah, your comments here today and in the future, whenever you watch this on a YouTube or a Twitch replay, yeah, your comments are super helpful and appreciated. It's wonderful. So let's go ahead and get this Snyder Cut challenge started with the first ever recut in film sprint history, How the West Was Rerun. A little background on this before I hit the transition button. The specific required elements for this included a POV shot was one of the lines that was one of the required elements that was needed to be involved, and the two categories they drew on this were time travel and Western. Spectacular, a real Back to the Future 3 setup, if you will. And now, that film.
I go with Jordan.
All right, show me what you got. You accept check?
I think it's done.
You know, if this works, think of all the good we can do.
I think I know where we should start.
I think we're ready.
You sure? You got the right date?
Yeah, I got the date right. Okay.
You sure we're ready for this? You sure you want to do this?
Wait, there's something we should do first.
What?
What are you doing?
We should stretch first. We don't know what it's gonna be like.
Ready?
Counting down in 3, 2, 1. All right. Nausea is a side effect. Noted.
Yeah, not a fan.
Let's check it out.
Remember, we're here on a mission. This is not a vacation.
Welcome to 2001. Oh, hey. Nice watch.
When are you guys from?
Right. Nice to meet you.
Have you ever thought about visiting the Wild West?
Well, we're here on a mission. Do we really have time?
We've got all the time in the world. Come on.
You're right.
3, 2, 1.
Think we're in the Wild West.
Hi there.
Howdy. Take it.
Thanks.
Hey, is that guy talking to us?
Where?
What is he? I don't know. Touch it. I'm not just gonna push it again. We got.
Oh, hey. Nice watch.
Where the heck are the best? Press it again. Press it again. Oh my god! Oh my god!
There was. Well, yeah. So the initial one had some pretty it just wasn't assembled. You could hear a lot of like director instructions from off camera. That cool time travel watch effect wasn't done. And it wasn't really clear watching it what the story was. So, fun fact, and this did actually come up in the chat, but yes, the original time travelers were planning to go back to 2001 to stop 9/11. That's not explicitly stated in the text of the film, but the filmmakers have reported to me that that is the initial. Oh, hold on. Well, hi again, Deming. They can hear you now.
I
I
was
could
just
hear you the
asking.
whole time.
I was asking questions to set him up to explain to me what was different.
Yeah, basically what was
Now
different
you
was
know
just
the
that.
rest of the story.
Yep. So that was that was straight. That bus hit had a massive reaction in the theater when it first happened, as you might imagine. This was the same round that we saw Santa Rosa Dream Team's Less Than Human, that we got to see Hobby Horse Films' Underdog, their first submission.
I love them.
And Dana, in his first solo entry, took home Audience Choice for his film by his team, One Man Group. Um, which would go on to become single-engine films in 2020, the year that lasted 5 years. Uh, this was a really a fun one. I mean, I kicked off the screening with this one in 2019, and it pretty much brought the house down. Absolutely a ton of fun. And Lemons for Friends, of course, had a great, hilarious submission in Fright Sprint last year.
He had a bunch
They're
of great
the
stuff.
classic guy blowing his own head off with the shotgun gag, always funny. That I think was one of Deming's favorite shots of the Fright Sprint. If I don't want to speak for you, but
It's one of my favorite like horror movie shots. Like no constraints there. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite things. It's one of those things that like I think we all have like films and stuff that we're like, I'm gonna show this to a friend and I'm just gonna wait to see their reaction. And that's absolutely up there with like so many classic things in other movies. Speaking of Fright Sprint, I heard that
Yes.
one of my all-time other favorite horror shorts got a recut. I would have been happy to just
right.
rewatch this movie
That's
as
right.
it was.
I know.
So I'm so excited right now. So
I'm
we're
hyped. We'll get into it. Our next one is One Soul for Another classic Fright Sprint submish from Viral Media Network. I mean, we're talking about some all-time great film sprint submissions when we talk about the Viral Media Network. We're talking about Obscure Vinyl Box Set, one of the funniest and weirdest, and brought us so many great talents.
Best produced, best voiceover,
Oh my god, Eric Bra's incredible voiceover,
and
Holden Hardcastle's editing.
Yeah, the villain in this film, in the one that we're about to watch, she had, I think, one of the smaller roles in an obscure box
Very
set,
funny.
but it stood out to me. She was amazing. Holy cow.
The Viral Media Network says he wished the original score stayed, assuming that that's Sam steering the VM account. I'd love to hear more about that as we screen this. This one I want to talk about. Can we talk about, are there a lot of good horror director's cuts to talk about that are sort of similar in this way?
I mean, like, there's horror adjacent stuff. I think that the strange thing I realized about director's cuts is that just because of like me being like younger than the movies I like a lot of the time,
Right.
and also like very like internet literate and a fan of like the obscure, and because director's cuts end up being this like curio of sorts, that a lot of times I realize I've seen the director's cut and then not the original, and then all I hear is like,
Right.
oh, it's so much better, and I'm like, okay, so am I supposed to rewatch the original just like to get the full experience? It took me so long, as an example, to see the original like Blade Runner.
I was literally gonna say you had to wait to feel what it feels like to be unsure if Deckard is a variant. Like
so funny. And
Blade Runner is one of those movies that I have trouble like with the pace of it, I think is what it is.
sure,
And some of
yeah.
those visuals are so sweeping and grandiose that by the time they get to the point I'm kind of like mentally checked out. Like what
Okay,
what is
actually-
this now? It's gone back into abstraction.
There is one horror like different cut that that I didn't even know existed
Yeah.
until I was in Croatia and we had rented out. It's really cheap to travel around Croatia. We went in the off season and we were just like tripping around. We had this one night we accidentally rented this like really fancy place for like $80 and it ended up being a whole small apartment building. And with like a full steam room that had lights you could change and all this stuff. So we were like partying and then we're like, okay, let's watch a movie. So we put on Croatian Netflix and The Shining was on there. And we're watching The Shining and we're both kind of fucked up and we're like, but wait, this is different. Like there was a scene I had never seen before and there was a lot of stuff missing. It was much shorter and we're like,
Did all the actors in that scene have Croatian accents?
no. It was actually, and I found out later after doing some research, is that there is like a almost half-hour shorter European cut of The Shining.
It's
and
more
that's what we had.
slimming because it's a European cut. Is that what it is?
It's way more slimming. Yeah, but it completely cuts out a ton of shit, but it also has extra stuff that like is in the book, but not in the American release. And it's just a couple extra scenes that kind of spoon feed you stuff about like Danny being abused and everything. And so I was like, well, I know this was in the book. I can't actually remember at the time. So
that makes sense. I feel like a lot of the language of how we understand Danny's abuse in that movie comes from like understanding how the American system works.
That's right. That's right. And in the European cut, there's a whole scene where the doctor kind of like very overtly talking about it, but then they cut out a ton of shit later. So that's a bonkers horror not director, or like undirector's cut.
But in a masterful segue, speaking of attacking your own children, let's watch One Soul for Another.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go. Here it comes. One Soul for Another.
What's happening? Oh my god, what have I done? No! Amy!
I am pleased with your work, Mafenders.
Thank you, Master. This one was enjoyable.
Your duties on Earth are not complete. You exist only to do my bidding and torment the soul.
It was good. I was gonna let it ride.
Bless you.
Is your mouth full? Nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Stop getting a signal like a friggin' out. Really want you to get along with your new cousin.
It's important to me that you get to know my family.
The stars at night. Fun. Yeah. All right.
Mike, you made it. Wow, Sarah, you look great. How's the drive?
Yeah. Glad that's over. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just head down the trail this way, and you should catch up to the girls in no time.
Just put on this.
I got my like 5 out of 8. Dad. Stars! Oh my god, I love camping!
What is it?
Oh, nothing. Just the devil.
Man, that was a long drive. It feels so good to be sitting here next to this campfire with my big sis.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm so happy you're here, Mike. This year has been so rough.
I know things have been hard since Chuck died.
You know, it's been so rough on Marianne, and she and her friend are just, they're so inseparable. And that's Sally. She's kind of different.
You're still doing a great job, though.
I hope you're right. I mean, honestly, I'll feel a lot better when she's off to college.
You can say that again. Definitely can say that again. I mean, I'm gonna need you to teach me a thing or two. You know I have a daughter of my own to deal with now.
Well, all I can say is good luck with that, Mike.
I got wine. Who's with me?
Perfect.
Huh?
Yes, I like her, Mike.
That's why I married her. She's an angel.
Well, don't mess it up, okay?
Here, take this.
What is all this stuff?
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Then do you mind telling me why we're out here?
We're doing a ritual. We're opening a portal to the underworld.
We've been planning this for weeks, but we need one more person.
You're not scared, are you?
No, this is dumb. Let's do it.
Grant us passage to hell. One soul for another. 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 One soul.
Shit!
Oh!
Dad, is that you?
I am something far more powerful. You! You will be first!
Sally, what did you do?
I just followed the directions. That was awesome! You guys come back!
So glad she had some Chardonnay. I couldn't take any more of that Sauvignon Blanc. Man, Casey. She really went taking candy from me today. Who I reached through to her.
I'm feeling maybe a little tipsy or something.
That time of the month?
I'm gonna go like
Don't pass out. I'll be coming to get you.
Oh, I remember that!
Substitute named Jackie.
Oh, right? Oh, I remember that. I remember that dude with the headband.
Where's my mom's at? I need to speak to her. I need to talk to my mom.
What's the matter?
I need to talk to my mom right now. Where is she?
Oh, I think she's in the RV.
Thank you.
Whew.
Okay. What we're talking
I'm
about.
telling you, these hormones. Teenagers.
insane.
That was so fucking awesome.
My uncle is dead. My aunt tried to kill you.
Isn't this what you wanted? This is so cool.
No, I wanted my dad back. We have to reverse it.
The portal. Let's bring him back to the portal.
Okay, let's... Okay, what now?
Circle, do a circle. Let me do this.
Okay.
One soul for another.
One soul for another. One soul for another.
You mortals are all alike. You have no power over me. I am immortal.
What? One soul for another. Thank you. One soul for another. 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 It's one soul for another. One soul for another. One soul
Hey, Jesus.
Hey, wow. My mind is blown.
That was, I mean, okay, so again, the original is
My hair
still
looks
like
like this from me just being like this the whole time.
no, the original is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And this is like the kind of shit that like I'm gonna share with people and be like, I know him. Like I
Yeah.
know him. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so fucking next level. It feels like somebody that like Jeremy and I went to high school with is in Mindhunter, and it feels like that. Do you know what I mean? Where I'm like,
That's
how
right.
do I know people this talented? Like even in some kind of like small way. It's so fucking crazy.
It's so good.
How
This is a
good,
great
how tense. I mean, I didn't think that there was a ton that could be. I'm like, oh, okay, I could see a little tweaks that one might want to make, but the fact that things got to build more suspense was like so expertly built, maintained, played with. It was masterful. Those like little extra moments that got to sink in. Holy shit! I can't wait to watch that again already. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's awesome. It in addition to the link that we've been spamming here in the Twitch chat, you can also find it on the Fright Sprint playlist here on our YouTube page, not the Fright Sprint 2021 playlist, where all you're going to see is promos and the films of this year's Fright Sprint, for which submissions are currently open, by the way, and we hope and we should peer pressure Viral Media Network into registering. And that's
I mean, only if they
pretty
want to
much-
make my dreams come true, I guess. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean that's up to them, I suppose. But that, yeah, what an amazing submission. And we loved it originally. It definitely had some roughness in that original cut, which I learned recently the story of why that was, which is they had an editor who was working with them along the way, who I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Viral Media Network was the person who was editing most of it, who then had to step away during the final 24 hours due to maybe spending too much of their time on it, and this person's spouse being like, come back now from this. And then it got handed off on the last day to the esteemed DJ Lumberjack, who worked hard to kind of close it out across the finish line. But I think with the patience and also the ability to go beyond the initial required runtime, because this film that we just watched did run longer than we would have allowed for runtime. I think this was such an amazing submission and really just next level, shows the kind of stuff that we can see in these kinds of rounds and in these challenges. And yeah, so we deeply hope that you will come back. And yeah, I've seen some issues about people feeling like they don't have the capacity to enter in all their people. Just sign up, man. Hit sign up, and you can get your final crew list in when you complete, and we'll count you. We want you here, so get your sign-ups in. It's going to be a great time. We have our first international film sprint submission. I keep touting this. I'm excited. We have a filmmaking team coming out of Nigeria who has joined the film sprint. We're going to be running a separate kickoff for them because our kickoff window is something like 3 a.m. Nigeria time. But I'm really excited to see what they do and what everybody does. This is, Fright Sprint's one of our favorite rounds, and it was Fright Sprint 2020 that brought us our final filmmaker for this evening, this afternoon, this daytime, depending on what time zone you're watching from. And that is, of course, Miss Dina Hervey of Old Soul. I don't know why she's not here today. I'm sure she's going to be kicking herself thinking that the screening was tonight or something. But she'll get to rewatch the chat and see everybody's positive responses. This is so much fun. That's Dina Hervey's Old Soul. She wanted to recut a lot of her films, is what I heard. She was threatening to submit multiple submissions, but a ton of fun.
So you and I, neither of us have seen this.
No, we haven't seen any of these films. I mean, I had seen How the West was rerun before, but I hadn't seen this cut we just watched of One Soul for Another or this upcoming Old Soul submit.
That's right. I have no fucking idea what we're about to watch. I don't even know what she has recut. Is my truth. Do you?
Yeah. Well, I'm gleaning it from the title, but I don't have 100% faith. But I'd say I have 80% confidence that what we're about to see is a recut of her most recent submission from Cinematic Universe. Although it's hard to imagine because that original film was called Watching Snuffles Grow. And it was about the dog show. And this film that we're about to watch is entitled Watching the Watchers Watch.
Okay, which feels like a reference to the preceding, right? There was like.
Well, it was that same round. That was the same round.
Well, no, that was the challenge of the round, but
yes.
The inspiration for the challenge, The Ones Who Watch, is from a different round.
Right, but The Ones Who Watch are also part of the world of the cinematic universe. Yeah. And not to mention, this feels like the closest, I will say, the closest to a true Snyder cut, perhaps, compared to the Whedon cut of her original film. If this is to be about something else, then that may be the most Snydery cut thing of all.
That's a fantastic point. So yes, the fact that
this just goes to prove our theory that Dina and Jason are the true outdoors of the film sprint community.
Absolutely, yes. That the Justice League film that Zack Snyder started doing, he had a personal family tragedy. He had to step back. Joss Whedon, a person with, I would say, opposite.
A walking personal family tragedy.
Sure, but also a person who, while still a white guy, has very polar opposite kind of filmmaking instincts. And it turned into this like weird, you know, gray sludge at the end, very like an oatmeal result. And then so Zack Snyder did ultimately finish his vision, and I would say that since our most recent round necessitated collaboration, it necessitated her to be built on other people, other influences. Then now we're going to get to see it straight from the source. So I guess let's do it.
I'm down. Yeah, let's get into it. No time like the present. For our final submission, weighing it at a whopping 12 minutes 18 seconds. Let's watch Old Souls watching The Watchers.
Or Christmas or whatever. No. No. I don't. No. No. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Same dream over and over again. My god. I didn't have an Oreo.
Take one.
Since I keep having these horrible, horrible dreams about the future, I've decided that I'm gonna try and read the tarot cards. Thank God some instructions, because I have no idea what I'm doing. This is a 16 card layout, and this is the Atlanta. Apparently Atlanta has a portal. Right, because it is confusing as hell. Thanks. Jesus. Trixie, shut. Everybody's asleep. Okay. I've already dealt these. I'm not redoing them. Okay, card number 1 is supposed to represent the primary concern. Well, that's the ones who watch. They gives you further information to the primary concern. Some effed up DNA. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, cards. It's supposed to tell you background information of the situation involved. Plans to come and go, it figures. And there's a ton of babies in the hospital. Ooh. Okay. So, okay. There's on the situation. Okay, we've got some big ass dogs running around. And we've got some mutations. Looks like that's a lady with a dog head. Okay. And then targeted. Let's see. Okay. So, superheroes and villains, mean dogs and mean people, and then Galaxy Arbitrators. Maybe that's some kind of Jesus Christ. La 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 la. 13. Okay. These cards show alternate possibilities, if any. Okay, Venus travel. Looks like the girl sent some people to Venus, and the Fidos are getting shipped off to Mars. That'd be nice. And then we got a galaxy. I don't know. They're dancing. Everybody's dancing. Okay. Okay, there's a picture of a big rat sitting on a throne. This guy, my cousin Randy. I don't understand what that has to do with anything, but that's the last card. Okay. Smoke detectors. Oh no. Okay. All right. I'm done. Oh my god. La 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 la. All right.
Wow. I am at a loss.
I have so many new interests.
I feel like
I didn't have as many interests, fetishes,
yeah,
points of focus, obsessions, reasons to
Peccadillos.
buy red yarn until I saw that. I need that deck. What is that deck? I need to know everything about it. I need it physically. I want to create art about that art.
Yeah.
Firemen in the snow. Firemen in the snow.
Just the same.
The poetry of Firemen in the Snow.
I mean, but let's not. I mean, as great as the
Firemen
firemen in the snow in the last 2 minutes were, let's not get lost in the crazy tarot card deck, the random Purina product placement.
She opened my mind though to what like a reading could be.
Just putting some cards down, being like, I don't want to shuffle these and deal these again. I mean, I'd love to take an informal straw poll of the chat as far as, do we believe that paper on fire was intentional? Hard to say.
It's manifested by the art. That was Dadaist perfection.
Loss. That was something, all right. I mean,
I'm at a gain.
That.
I'm at a gain.
I'm at a gain. I, for one, am at a gain. Yeah, that was all over the place, and I loved it. I don't quite. I mean, all right, quick. I mean, I don't know the plot per se,
but not. I feel like I never quite understood. Like, so in university, I studied a lot of different things, but
that's right.
My like degree thing. It's literary critical theory. And deconstructionist theory is this thing that sounds so simple. It feels easy to explain, but it's so impossible for me to identify. It's like the opposite of porn. Like I don't know it when I see it, but I can define it. And that
I
to
think it'd
me,
be fair to call this the opposite of porn, what we just saw.
and it felt like deconstructionist narrative where it made me question like what even is a plot, what is meaning, what is a tarot deck, like in the first place, like right, like we're taking this symbol and we're perverting it in a way that has implied like meaning that's all about fragmentation.
Yeah.
I'm just
Definitely
firemen,
some fun in jokes, but also
firemen in the snow, it's like,
so I don't understand what that had to do with any of it. I didn't
But
even know
it's-
the movie took place in the winter.
but like that's the thing is it's like this is it's all about notness. It's all about like these like it's contrasting irony until irony is a single point on the horizon.
Okay, can I read this God Eats Bagels plot attempt at a summary here?
Yes,
The
yes,
plot
yes.
was that she had a dream of the Watchers. She did a tarot card reading to summon / communicate with them, and then was turned into a dog because of the dog disease from film sprint first. Then the spirits burned her house down.
Okay. Yeah, that tracks.
Okay, wow, that is some, I mean, really
God Eats Bagels is a
impressive.
scholar.
God Eats Bagels, I mean, are you a shark? Because you sure know how to locate connective tissue. My goodness. That was spectacular. I don't know what else to say about this round. We didn't know what we were going to get, and we ended up getting to watch 3 amazing films.
I feel so
that
fucking lucky. How is it that we just like we had no idea what we were gonna get, and all we got was gold.
I feel like we need to just set up an open drop bin for anybody to submit any later re-edit of their film. Like if you just decide that you want to go back and finish something, just get it done and get it to us, and we'll platform it. Like
I will watch
Wow.
it with like an eye towards like meaning. I will watch it and like coach
Yeah.
whatever you need, talk about whatever you want. I will also
Sure.
say, okay, Jeremy, I'm so sorry. You said something while we were watching it off camera that I think is very true about
yes,
like consistency
which is
between
this is our second film, at least so far, where Dina's character has been the parent of Chad Hudson's character, because we don't ever find out who Chad's character's parents are that cause him to be a mutt. And I mean, this is, a pretty excellent connection between them again. Like, she's the parent in the Christmas movie last year. She was she was Chad's
Actually.
mom in Sprint Actually, and now in Cinematic Universe. And now I just hope that she has a cameo in there, even though they're both doing their own Fright Sprint films. I want that connection somehow to exist between them.
I just know they both live south of me in Georgia. They both live south of Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't
What? What's that? What's that reaction?
do we know that she isn't?
That she isn't Chad's mom. I guess we don't. We've never seen paperwork that says, we certify that Dina's not Chad's mom. That seems like the kind of thing they would have at a lot of records offices.
I love my Georgia gang here, by the way. Can I also
Georgia
just give
gang.
an unsolicited shout out to
Let's
Celeste?
do some shout outs. Shout out to Celeste, an amazing new contributor. I hope that she comes back for Fright Sprint. We have yet to see that registration, but I know a lot of people are kind of like waiting to finish pushing those submissions. Go ahead and get that submission in. We want to make sure that we have a spot for you, because if we reach too many, we may close it up. So claim your spots. If we get over like 20, we're gonna call it. So we want to get in on that action.
And it's climbing quickly, but so
rocket ship to space.
having like I was having a conversation with Connor, as aka Connor Corpse, in the chat, aka winner of Best Original Music recently. And he still is planning on entering Fright Sprint. He was originally planning on entering with some people who are professional filmmakers in Atlanta here, who had to take up new work. And he said to me, like, we were just having like a nice coffee time like we do. And he was like, I think I could actually just kind of figure out like a cool film alone. Like, having seen, he's like, I never thought I could. This is verbatim. I never thought I could. And then I saw like Celeste's films, and he's like, and the kind of amazing shit that she did with like Snapchat filters and puppets and like simple animation, like made him realize how you're actually not as limited as you think.
Right,
and
exactly.
So I just wanted to give a shout out.
That's what we're all about. That's fantastic. Celeste, you inspiration, you magical inspiration.
I know she's not here. I hope she's drinking a fucking Corona on the beach like the last time I saw her.
Oh, she was killing it last time we saw her. Hey, speaking of people we haven't seen in a while, can I hype up another recent submitter and sign-oner for Fright Sprint? And that's Shelter and Lace coming back. Allison Jones is back in the fold. I'm real excited about this one. I haven't taken a full look at the crew list for that one, but I believe we may have some nibblings returning in that round as well. Which is great. We do owe them some merch. And well, we gotta get like a grade A package tracker on it, which was my nickname in high school. We also have I want to shout out Jimmy Gagarin is coming back for Santa Rosa Dream Team. He was the amazing robot, the father of the robot in Less Than Human. One of our great film sprint performers. He was only ever in that one as far as I can remember, so having him back, that's a big get for the Dream Team, who are back. I mean, if they can actually get their Bird Nest film this year, who knows? We got some amazing contenders. With Viral Media Network coming back, if their editor can pace himself, they're a strong contender. We got,
can we also give a shout out to returning? Like Holden is just a cool person to shout out. Holden's
Hell
just
yeah,
like
Holden Hardcastle.
Fucking person. He's just like, you know what's annoying about him?
The first person to submit a director's cut, by the way, not for this round, but in the Anything But Cameras round.
Truly, but like, holy cow! So Holden Hardcastle, I'm always like waiting for him to be a jerk, because I'm like, you're like a tall, explicitly handsome, like distractingly handsome, fantastic editor, fantastic filmmaker. I'm just like sitting here being like, wait till that mask.
Multiple bicycles.
Allegedly. Like amazing, like, you know,
good
life, amazing life. You love to see it. Love Holden. One of the all-time greats.
The first person, besides Connor, one of the first people to reach out to Jason to collaborate with him. So one of the first people to really make new bonds within the film sprint and try to form new teams, which we love and appreciate.
He's that he set that tone. Like, he's just like a kind, nice person.
I want to shout out Technically Goats here in the Twitch stream chat, saying that if there are any Bay Area film sprinters who need actors, I'm literally professional and would love to be in your films. Hey, if you feel that way, you know, you can also go to Film Sprint and sign up as an individual to be placed on a team, and then we'll make sure to pair you up with a team that is relatively close to your region, if at all possible. And regardless, we'll also hopefully have some sort of overlapping film ethos, so you can end up on a team with somebody who you'd want to be on a team with. You can do that right now. I believe that's currently cheap or possibly free.
Technically Goats, if you do that. So this is a special for Technically Goats specifically, who is a very accomplished actor who yes, we can place you on a team. And if you sign up now, if it does charge you, if it charges you, please DM. It's HELLO HELL_O.
Yeah.
Stranger.
Yeah.
DM her with your Venmo details, and that person will reimburse you for any sign-up fees. So please sign up as an actor. I feel like that's one of the things that a lot of people need.
Mm-hmm. Hey, another message that's going to be going out to all of our filmmakers who are signed up for this round is, if you're signed up You get special access to get a Fright Sprint filmmakers only shirt. Have the Fright Sprint logo on the front, and you can put any text you want on the back. It's customizable. You can put your team's name on the back or anything like that. Yeah, feel free to not be reimbursed too. That'll help. Things happen that make prizes go. So do the things. We appreciate you.
Free custom team shirts.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they're not. The custom part is, I think, free, but the shirt is the cheapest shirt we've had. How about that? Basically at cost. So that's the deal. We're trying to just, get some fun merch out to y'all. We have a new merch store that we're testing out, and so we have pretty heavy. This is the first time we've been able to offer a shirt that was less than $25, and so that's nice. They're nice.
But we will offer
shirts, though.
no profit to us shirts, like shirts
That's
at
right.
cost that are
Yeah,
that are.
right. There's no profit to us.
Logo.
Yep, they're just for y'all. Hey, FastTube, thanks for the follow. We got also, don't forget, y'all, it's September, which means if you want to support us with subscriptions, they're 20% off, thanks to Twitch taking some of their cut out and making sure that this channel still gets our full cut. The more subscribers we get, the cooler stuff we can do. Somehow.
Grab your ankles and subscribe, y'all.
That's right. Embrace your subby side. We got some exciting events coming up. I'm really hyped about our Wednesday stream. We're gonna watch The Girl on the Third Floor, an amazing film that I've only seen the trailer for. We can talk about it.
Give me a couple secs. So, couple seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's brunch. This is deep into the brunch. This is when we're talking about real stuff. And
that's right.
The restaurant has run out of champagne, so we're substituting white wine and we're mixing it with mango juice. They've run out of orange juice. Here's where we are in the brunch. So
this is where we are.
I'm elevating the experience. You're all here with us.
Yes.
So
Congratulations.
this upcoming Wednesday, what time, Jeremy?
Great question. I believe it's at 5:30.
5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern.
Eastern.
It will be, you can join late. That's totally fine. I will love to see you whenever the heck you can join. You can rewatch the stream later. So what we're doing, we are watching a horror film that I had been meaning to watch ever. It's a big, weird, like squishy, visceral, funny, hot guy, hot ladies.
Yep.
Strange with like a kind of cool message film. Again, it's called The Girl on the Third Floor. I've been meaning to watch it forever. I finally watched it. About 2 seconds afterwards, synchronicity, Jeremy started talking about a wrestler who recently came back, CM Punk, somebody I did not know. But when I Googled him as Jeremy was talking, as I'm nodding along, being like, totally know who that is, it turns out he was the very hot yet detestable man starring in The Girl on the Third Floor. So I will be rewatching it. I highly recommend it. I cannot wait for all y'all to watch it. Jeremy will be watching it for the first time. He will also educate me a little bit about like why this guy isn't just hot, but also other adjectives.
But also cool. We're gonna talk by the end of it. CM Punk will be perfectly lukewarm in your eyes because he's both hot and cool. It's a really fun. Also, if you want to see more of him, you should watch him in the Star show Heels, the show about wrestling with Stephen Amell, because he plays a wrestler named Ricky Rabies.
That feels like a Jason Vikovich character.
Ricky Rabies, 100%. And the funniest thing about it is that he got full body makeup to cover all of his tattoos. So it is a little, because he has like his whole chest and his arms are just like covered. So it was fascinating. I'm fascinated by these comments in the chat. They make me very. The only other thing I know about this film is that it has a ton of really interesting practical effects. So I'm excited to see how that all works. And this will be a fun one. I had been worried about these sorts of copyright issues on the channel. And then yesterday I was showing my brother how Twitch worked. And I was like, oh, here's one of the most popular streamers on Twitch. And he was just watching MasterChef. Like 90% of the screen was him watching MasterChef with a little box with his head going, oh, there it is. That's MasterChef. So we'll probably do something like that. And we may be back in our Mystery Science Theater silhouette mode. Green screen technology permitting. It's going to be a fun one.
Were you of the Mystery Science Theater?
I'm Tom Servo. and you're Crow.
Crow?
I'm hyped for the new Mystery Science Theater episodes. I hear we're finally gonna get a lady in the jumpsuit, which, you know, finally.
I like that, like, up to this point, it's been, like, in the latest episodes, it'll be, like, Gypsy gets to, like, float in, be annoying for, like, one joke.
One
it's just,
clip.
like, and then she just, like, ascends back.
Ascends back to her, you know, she deals with the higher functions.
Oh my goodness. Mystery Science Theater. Jeremy, as we
Yes.
sign off, can we leave the folks with some suggestions? What is your favorite, off the top of your head? It doesn't have to be ultimate
Yes.
favorite.
Yeah.
What's one of your first highly recommended Mystery Science Theater episodes?
Oh, okay, two that come to mind are first one is Mitchell, the Joe Don Baker cop movie where he just plays like he's just a beer soaked doofus who has a bunch of like wacky lines. And it's also the first episode with no, I'm sorry, it's the last episode with Joel. It's the episode where they send Joel out and Mike comes in. So it's that transition episode, which is a ton of fun. I believe the next episode that is the first Mike episode is called The Head That Wouldn't Die / The Brain That Wouldn't Die, depending on when in the movie the credits air, because the film is inconsistent internally about its own title. Puma Man is a great one, says God Eats Bagels. Manos, The Hands of Fate is a great
That's
suggestion.
the all-time classic. I feel like that's
Yeah,
like
Manos is great, but it's almost so hard to watch that you need to already like Mystery Science Theater. Mitchell has a little bit more action and like fun Joel bits. And the other one that I would recommend is Final Sacrifice with the inimitable Zap Rousdower as a Canadian hero who's like at all times wearing all denim. And he's pretty much a fantastic. Oh, Danger Diabolique. These are all amazing episodes. And I would also recommend Pod People, which has the classic It Stinks. So you can't miss that. So there's lots of great Mystery Science Theaters, all worth a watch. And you can see every episode of Mystery Science Theater on YouTube, by the way.
And I will also say shout out to my friend who was not watching. His name is Peter Hunter. I lived with him in college. He was my first friend in college. He is currently both a writer for and the social media manager for Riff Tracks. So if you look up Riff Tracks, like all of those are still they're still making more Mystery Science Theaters with the same voices, with all of that. That's still available online, and they're fucking funny. They did an updated version of Manos and the Hands of Fate. If y'all are interested, I'm not getting nothing for this. I just thought it was funny. I would like to recommend maybe my two favorite of
Future War's a great one too.
But the Mystery Science Theater they released for Netflix.
Oh yeah.
I think my two favorite out of those were Wizards of the Lost Kingdom.
Yes.
Which is neat because they did that and they did the sequel to Wizards of the Lost Kingdom, which inexplicably has David Carradine in it. Amazing. And then they did a Pacific Rim ripoff. I feel
Atlantic Rim.
Atlantic Rim. And that Mystery Science Theater, I would say if you all are like trying to get someone into Mystery Science Theater who isn't, watch Atlantic Rim with them because it is like, that's the way.
Mac and Me is also a good one for that too.
It's good, but I feel like you still have to be in it already. I think Atlantic Rim is like, this is like a weird, dumb sci-fi channel movie. It doesn't have a lot of pop culture references, the jokes, but it's like ripe for jokes. It's so tightly written that I think Atlantic Rim is like your entry level. It's your science theater in the same way that I would say an Oban 14 is your entry level single malt.
Reptilicus from that first season is a lot of fun too. Reptilicus 5000. And then one more OG Mystery Science Theater episode that we cannot leave without talking about is Space Mutiny, one of the all-time greats. That's the one with the guy, like the big guy that they keep giving fake names to, like Blast Hard Cheese and Dirk Manbody, and like it's the one with all the railings too, and they have the weird little vehicles called like enforcers that drive at like 3 miles an hour. They have a big chase scene that's just slow speed chase.
That one's amazing.
Incredible.
What's the one that they're watching? in Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie, with the really big.
Oh, that's
forehead.
This Island Earth, of course. Oh, I love This Island Earth. And it's weird because that movie is shorter than a regular episode of Mystery Science Theater, and they actually cut out scenes from This Island Earth. Like, they could have just... Anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the all-time greats. There's some amazing jokes in This Island Earth, like, that, I mean, stuck with me forever. Yeah, we're getting some Big McLarge huge. Yep, that's one of the best.
Beef hard.
Beef hard pass. And then one is just like Bob Johnson. Like they just kind of I'm gonna allow well, this message from thank you for adding that. Thanks for being on that, my fellow mod. Amazing. Yeah, they're amazing. Do check out Mystery Science Theater. A show that really like is a like I don't think there's ever been anything like it as far as just giving yourself permission to be like critical of something you're watching and kind of silly about it. Yeah, Brick Chunk Hard. There's a lot of great ones. There's like a whole list. Hold on, I'm sure I can find that quickly to
and for technically goats and anybody else that's maybe watching this later. So if y'all have Pluto, I think that Jeremy, you taught me that there's
Pluto
a
TV.
Pluto channel that's just nonstop Mystery Science Theater.
There's also a YouTube playlist that is every episode of the OG. For a while, when YouTube had annotations, this was genius. When YouTube had annotations, the little like boxes that could pop up with extra information, somebody did a bunch of annotated Mystery Science Theaters that explained a bunch of the references, like pop-up video. And now the annotations are no longer a feature on YouTube, that it's gone.
I didn't know that had been taken away.
Here's some quick lists. Here's some quick names from that list. Thick McRun Fast, Buff Drink Lots, Trunk Slam Chest, Punch Rock Groin, Rip Steak Face, Crunch Butt Steak, and of course, Roll Fizzle Beef. I love it. It's such a good, yeah. I think I agree with God Eats Bagels in the chat. Mystery Science Theater is absolutely behind my love of bad movies.
And I mean, like, so me and my brother, Rennick Cassidy,
who?
Film Sprint legend.
That's right.
Oh,
that guy, yeah.
Previous judge and somebody who sat with us while we rewatched some of the shorts that he had made when he was in high school, even though he works for Lucasfilm now.
That's right.
He and
the
I both
second
identify.
Film Sprint person to have Disney connections in their
I do want to shout that out in a sec, but yes, so Rennick and I, when we had that rewatch behind the scenes, he and I both identified as a crow.
That's
and
right.
that was
well,
like,
you both do are crows.
We are crows. Yeah, but hey, final shout out to I would say maybe the most successful film sprinter that isn't just you or I.
I mean, up there. Obviously, we're both super successful.
The most.
I would say that we got to talk about Ryan Harvey, right? A
Ryan
fantastic
T.
submitter.
Harvey.
That's right. I think the first person to play their own dad in a film sprint submission.
Winner of last year's Fright Sprint.
Well, with the rest of the Wolfman squad, yes, and then came back as Wolfman and did an amazing The Neighborhood Watch, The Ones Who Watch, which is where we got this whole Watchers gimmick from. And also who wore much of our merch in his films, which we appreciate. Yeah, I mean, and also, but speaking of this
Ryan
film,
P. Harvey up to?
Well, he currently works doing rotoscoping at Marvel, I believe.
What was his latest film that he was in the credits of?
I believe this most recent Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is the. That's right. He's in the credits.
Ryan,
which I'm assuming that means we get a full screen special thanks credit as Film Sprint. I haven't yet seen the film, so I don't know for sure. But I feel comfortable saying go see that movie and look for us in the credits. We're probably both shouted out by name and Film Sprint.
And I mean, it takes place in San Francisco. The plot of it is that if you accessorize correctly, you can punch really good, and I believe in that.
That is true. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's amazing. I'm excited about it. And with this, the conclusion of Snyder Cut Challenge, we're pretty well transitioning here from now through the end of Halloween into a horror front channel. We may talk about other film types, but this is Deming's most wonderful time of the year. It's one of my favorites. It's Fright Sprint season. We're calling it the Festival of Fear this time because it's a lot more than a fortnight.
Festival of Fear.
It's going to be great. We're going to have all kinds of stuff.
Have you seen like Halloween costumes from the 1920s?
Like generally, or is this like a
Yeah, yeah.
Tumblr that you've started?
No, like
Okay.
generally.
No, not
Like,
really.
have you ever seen that? So if y'all ever look up like
This might have to be a topic for an upcoming happy hour.
Halloween costumes from the 1920s, they are terrifying because they're just painted burlap sacks. And
Awesome.
I'm not going to spoil a lot of what I will be wearing on upcoming streams. It will be terrifying. I would also be lying if I didn't say that a contributing factor to me cutting my hair short wasn't so that I could wear more wigs. Poor Fright Sprint.
Can't wait. Hey, one other exciting Bright Sprint thing I want to mention. Just like, this is our first time doing a true sequel to a concept. So we've been doing a lot of iterating on it. And we are going to definitely have some cool streamy things. Like, we're going to play some Trivia Murder Party here on the channel. We'll probably do another couple of horror watch-alongs. That may be a regular thing for the next few weeks.
If you guys are having fun being engaged in the chat and you would like to be engaged a bit more live, you don't have to be on camera, but if you want to be part of our game shows, like, hella.
Hey, can I tell a quick personal burlap sack story that I may have told on this channel before, but I'm not sure? You might.
Okay,
know
I'm
this.
scared, but yes.
Yeah, quick burlap. It's not scary. So, my family, my grandfather's generation, and I believe the generation before, although not, anyway, members of my family, a few rungs back on the family tree, how trees have rungs, they owned a factory that made burlap sacks. And there's this very famous picture of Marilyn Monroe where she's like only wearing a burlap sack. And it was actually made by that company, the company that was kind of in my family for a while. And so my grandmother, who I only ever knew after my grandfather had passed away, my grandmother had this massive, I mean like 4-foot tall poster of Marilyn in that dress, which she hung.
And this was, I do remember this. This was because people criticized her.
Yeah.
For saying that, like, she was basically only hot because of like her accoutrement.
She has all this couture, and she was like, "Oh, contraire, mon frère."
So she was like, "I could be hot wearing a potato sack."
Literal potato sack. Yes.
That's where we get that trope in just
that's right.
life, and it's all thanks to
picture. That's right. It's thanks to me, a person who was a double zygote before this happened, but
little dubs eye.
Yes, a dubs eye, a DZ. But basically, there was this big poster. The thing that I thought was funny about it was my grandma just left it hanging in the guest bathroom. Like, it was not a featured part of the house. I don't think.
But that's on display. The guest bathroom is for nothing but like.
It was I mean, literally, like, I can't back up far enough to show you the width of this poster, and it was like a beautiful frame that was like, you know, very chic for the 80s when it probably was framed. And yeah, it was a thing. So it's going to be great. We're going to have a bunch more fun stuff coming up for you, and we'll have even more to tell you about it. Coming up with the stream this Wednesday. And we got Try Stuff Tuesdays on Tuesday, so I'll be back for y'all on Tuesday. Deming will be back here with me on Wednesday.
We're gonna watch a spooky movie together.
We're gonna watch spooky movies. You're probably gonna see a lot more activity from this channel in the weeks to come, as my own calendar has freed up, unfortunately. So I'll have some time to spend here on the stream with y'all, which is a good thing, and I'm excited for it. Thanks for watching Snyder Cut Challenge with us. If you want to be a part of Fright Sprint, do so at frightsprint.paperform.co. Or go to filmsprint.com and you can sign up there. It's going to be great. And yeah, thanks for watching us. Thanks for your subscriptions, your support, and your general patronage of our whole endeavor. We appreciate you. Connor Corbs, you're the best. We'll see you back